Tracy, followed by Emerson Fittipaldi. Al Unser Jr., the yellow has come out. We've got a car against the wall, and it looks to be...
It's a Penske.
Oh, no! Oh, my goodness, how did that happen? The yellow had been out for some time.
Jacques Villeneuve got high, coming through 3, up into the gray, and absolutely rammed into one of those stationary cars.
The yellow flags are out everywhere. We've got several cars damaged. We'll keep track of this, and when we come back, we'll let you know exactly what's happened here. Debris all over the 3rd and 4th turn. Back at the Slick 50 200 Phoenix, Arizona, you see the damage to Villeneuve's car. We've got several cars involved here, a chain reaction accident, actually several separate accidents, all occurring in the same place at about the same time. Fortunately, all the drivers, including Paul Tracy, who was the leader of the race, involved, and Jan is right there.
Paul, what happened out there?
Well, I coming down the back straightaway, and I saw Hero and somebody and Fabi get together, and they just went up the track. I was up on the outside, and I had nowhere to go, and then I was sitting there. I was about to get out of the car, and something hit me. I don't know if somebody's motor just clobbered me right in the side.
Well, that something was Villeneuve. Look here.
Be out of the race.
Well, thankfully you're okay. It was a scary moment.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you, Paul.
I'll tell you what. Hero is a very lucky man. Let's take a look at it again, Derek.
Here's how it starts. Teo Fabi right there. Touches wheels with Matshushita. That is an accident all by itself. Watch Tracy now. Stop it right there. Can we stop it right there? Tracy tries to avoid it, and look, he's in the gray. Okay, if we let it run on, you'll see what happens then. Tracy is an innocent victim here. Now it's a 3-car crash. As soon as it all stops, remember the gray is the no grip area. The yellow flags are now out. The rest of the cars come around.
And next down the line, Jacques Villeneuve. Look at him go outside.
Now look at this. Now watch the impact. Stop it right there. Can we stop it right there? Villeneuve has now no grip. He's in the gray. He's got dirt on his tires from the accident. He now knows there's a huge impact coming. Watch this violent impact. That is the scariest piece I have seen in IndyCar racing for many years. It is phenomenal that Jacques Villeneuve stepped out and walked away from that Reynard. Michael Andretti said when he drove this car first, this is the strongest racing car I have ever driven. There is proof of the point.
By the way, also Dominic Dobson, look there in the middle. That is Hero. He's talking with 2 of the safety crew. He was the one in that car that was hit. Jan Beekes is right there. Jan, he looks like he's fine. Let's go first to Gary Gerald, who has Dominic Dobson also involved.
This was a scary, scary incident, Dominic. What were you able to see, and what can you tell us?
Well, all I really saw was Fabi up in the wall, and then Villeneuve absolutely T-boned him. He came down across, and there was nowhere for me to go. I was down far inside, and I was trying to get slowed down, and there's just no room.
And so much disappointment because you were been running so well up there in the top 5.
Well, I'll tell you, the PacWest team, my hat's really off to them. They did a fantastic job getting both Scott and I on the field, and we're running strong, and I'm just disappointed for the team. I know they worked very hard.
We'll see you next week at Long Beach.
Okay, we'll be back.
All right, thanks. Paul?
We also saw Teo Fabi, who was in the accident, walking by. Let's get an update from Jan.
Well, Hiro Matsushita is now in the ambulance, but we spoke with him briefly. He is okay with the exception of a sore shoulder. So another very lucky man here.
Oh, look at that. There is Hiro's car. I'll tell you what, Derek, you can't say enough about what happens is all of the designers, the Nigel Bennett's, Renard, they all get together and they decide what the safety will be, that this nut has to be that strong and that bolt with this much shear. It pays off in moments like this.
That there is Matsushita's car. It is broken in half. They broke the engine and gearbox off the car.
Teo Fabi also in the accidents with Gary Gerald.
Teo, what can you tell us now from what you were able to see out there?
Well, I was trying to go by Gugelmin. I think it was Gugelmin, and when I was already in front of him on the outside, I think he moved over, and my rear wheel went over his front wheel, and so he just made me spun, and I went into the wall.
This racetrack is known for the fierce traffic, and you have to concentrate so hard, but sometimes I guess there's just nothing a driver can do.
Well, you see, you suppose that the driver you are overtaking stays on the same line, and when he moves, it's too late.
We're at least happy you're okay. Thanks, Teo.
Thank you.
Paul?
A lot of work to do up on the track to get all the debris and cars away. Let's take a look at this accident again. Let's just listen. If you can believe it, despite all that and this kind of damage, we don't have any one of these names seriously injured, if injured at all. But for the second year in a row, Paul Tracy goes out while leading the race. Back at the Slick 50 200 Phoenix, Arizona, still cleaning up from a massive accident. You can see all the equipment on the track right under the Goodyear Bridge there in the fourth turn. Let's look at it again.
Watch this in slow motion. Racing cars are designed to dissipate the energy by breaking into little pieces. Watch this horrible impact. Look at the left front wheel of Villeneuve. He realizes he's in trouble, deep trouble, locks it up. Huge impact. Now watch as these cars break apart. Stop it right there. That is the engine and gearbox and complete back end of Matsushita's car that has just been ripped apart. That is what they're designed to do.
And to show you the danger, too, that's what threw Paul Tracy's car over to the side, is this section, the gearbox and engine of that car. Now, down by that car is Jan Beekes.
Well, they're lifting that car at the moment, Paul, and fuel is pouring out from it. The methanol fuel is being diluted with water from the safety personnel. What they're trying to do now is to lift the back of the car so that fuel cell will stop leaking. But what they were doing while it's leaking was diluting it with water. That's what keeps it from bursting into flames. Let's check in with Gary.
And here you see Villeneuve's car as officials bring it back now where they will take the excess fuel out of the tank. But look at this nose section. This is carbon fiber. Remember, they made a rule change a year or so ago to give the driver more protection up around the foot box. Thank goodness they made that rule change, because that had to be a huge factor in this violent crash for the young Canadian driver. It just ripped the nose literally off of there. That takes tremendous force to rip that away like that. It's very, very fortunate that he was not seriously injured.
That's Villeneuve's car, and we're not talking just fiberglass there. All kinds of deformable structure, carbon fiber. And the Renards, they seem to have the driver a little further back than even the rule requires.
That's right, and you can clearly see here the complete pedal assembly is gone from that car, which means Villeneuve probably at the point of impact lifted his feet as far back from the point of impact as possible. But that is a huge crash and a superb test of the Reynard chassis.
And look at the bent suspension members, and think of the, you know, it looks like a small piece, but it takes incredible energy to do that kind of thing. Just awesome.
Carbon fiber is lighter and stronger than steel. Lighter and stronger than steel. They build a survival cell for the driver to sit inside. You can smash it and break it, but as long as it doesn't get into the driver, you've done your job. Happily, we saw Villeneuve walk away.
Pennzoil team gets Teo Fabi's car back out of the way. Still fuel, methanol fuel, pouring out of that car. That is Hero's car. And by the way, this works with methanol. It doesn't work with gasoline. You can dilute with water with methanol and keep it from being flammable. We'll be back with more. We're still under yellow.
Here's Jacques Villeneuve, who's just come out of the medical center. Jacques, first of all, how are you feeling after this horrific accident?
Well, a bit stretched, but feeling okay.
Can you tell us what happened? And the question appears to be, the yellow had been out, and you moved up high on the racetrack and then became involved.
Well, when the yellow came up, they came on the radio, and I was already a little high, and I started braking because there was Leyendijk overtaking someone, and there wasn't much room on the inside, and I was braking a little bit on the outside, and then I saw the two cars that were stopped, and I couldn't avoid them.
It has to be an emotional roller coaster to have gone from celebrating your 23rd birthday yesterday, qualifying in the front row, then the late incident, an untested car, and yet you were running so strong. This is an awful lot for a young man to endure in 24 hours.
Yeah, the player's Reynard was going fantastically during the race, and you know, it felt really safe, and I could move up and low in the traffic, and wasn't really, you know, trying to go like crazy. But you know, things like that happen on a racetrack.
Well, I tell you, a lot of people say this young man has ice water in his veins. I think maybe I believe it. We're happy you're all right.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Paul.
Such a sad smile, though. A young man at 20.